It's fair to say it was an eventful weekend for UFC middleweight Sean Strickland, who faced off with Donald Trump, beat the crap out of influencer Sneako, almost fought Megan Fox's husband, meanwhile calling him a massive weirdo, told Jake Paul to meet him in the desert because he wanted to murder him. Oh, and then agreed to fight Bryce Hall, another YouTuber. Forgot about that. That was one weekend. Busy one. Good to stay active. We'll start with the Sneako shit. So if you don't know about this Sneako lad, because a lot of you are pro fighting fans on this channel, he apparently is a young influencer who is quite an intelligent kid who just watched a little bit too much Andrew Tate. And the last time I seen him, he was getting punched all over by Bradley Martin, who was twice his size. And now I've seen him getting punched all over by a UFC champion. And you just do begin to think, maybe just learn how to fight, get in there with kids your own size, see how that goes first, then try and, take on the best in the world. Just a thought. I've said he was quite intelligent earlier in this video. Academically. Do you know what I mean? You know those kids when you're younger, you're like, yeah, you're not streetwise, but you'd pass all the exams. I was the other way. Learn to fight, then have one. Just an idea. So for some strange reason, probably to do with clout, as the kids call it, he decides to get into a UFC octagon with Sean Strickland with a pair of gloves on. Now, Sean Strickland is notorious for hard sparring. So if you can't take that, don't get in the cage with him. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
Think about if you knocked me out, how cool that would look for your, you could actually accomplish something by doing nothing.
This guy needs better friends. I'm just going to say that now. No one should have let him in this cage, realistically.
As we get closer to the 3-minute mark, you're about to feel significantly more about a pain.
This guy's a fucking lunatic. As we get closer to 3 minutes, you are going to feel a significant amount of pain. You might as well be in there with a fucking lion.
Here we go, bro. You're doing so good.
The darkness that's in Sean Strickland's mind is really showing out here. Fucking hell. He's literally complimenting him as the kid struggles to do anything.
You're a very tough influencer.
He's psychologically analysing him here when he said, you're a very tough influencer. He's like, I know what you're doing this for. Doing this to prove yourself, show how tough you are. I'll give you that. But it ain't going to change how this is going to go.
Is it set in yet that you're about to get hurt? No, you're good.
He's literally laughing right in his face. It's the way Strickland laughs at him like a fucking lunatic. There is a lot of fighters you could have done this with and been safe. You picked the wrong one. You fucked up when you picked Sean Strickland. He's not the nice guy. Oh, you fucker. The towel's in. Oh shit, Sean doesn't give a fuck. And Sneako's still on his feet. And he's running away. Oh, that was it. That was the one. Oh, and Forrest Griffin, by the way, UFC legend here, runs in to save the day before Sneako was badly hurt. Sneako stayed on his feet, though. So, yeah. Well done, kid. A lot of people made jokes about how could he drop Adesanya and he couldn't drop Sneako. I mean, give that 5 more seconds, bro. This kid would have been out cold. People are having a go at Strickland for this, but it's like, mate, it's Sean Strickland. Like, you can't just go in an octagon with a guy who's a savage like that and expect him to do whatever he's supposed to do. Like, he's not Anthony Joshua. He's not the nice guy. He's literally made a brand of saying, I'm a horrible bastard who loves to fight and actually wants to kill people. You know, there's an old story. I think there's a frog and a scorpion. The frog and the scorpion are talking to each other about crossing this fucking river together. And the scorpion goes, let me hop on your back just to get to the other side. And the frog goes, you can't fucking do that. You'll fucking sting us. He goes, I wouldn't do that. If I sting you, we'll both die. And they get halfway across and the fucking scorpion stings him. And the frog goes, what the fuck do you do that for? We're both dying now. Scorpion goes, because I'm a scorpion. Sean Strickland is a fucking scorpion. Don't complain when he stings you. Common sense here. There's certain people you shouldn't spar, but there's certain people you shouldn't go near if you don't know what the fuck you're doing in terms of combat. And he's one of them. We'll say the brutal angle, because this is where you really get an idea of how bad it was for this kid. Oh, you fucker. That was a clean right hand. And to be fair, like, Sneako does well to cover up, like... Fucking hell, how many towels can we throw in here? Fuck's sake. Fucking hell. Just throw every towel we've got. Oh, there you go. You see what I mean? The kid's got a chin. He's got a bit of heart. I like that about him. In terms of Misfits, if he can learn how to throw a punch, he'd be fucking entertaining. I'd love to have him on Misfits. It'd be great. So you wanted the clout. He got it. Credit to him. He also got brain damage. So do I think Sean Strickland should have done that? I mean, not really. I wouldn't want to do that to someone who I was way more more skilled than. Jake Paul chimed in and said, Sean Strickland, you're embarrassing for trying to stop Sneako. You weren't even able to drop him with no experience while going all out. You're a horrid boxer that only picks on inexperienced people. I can understand Jake wanting to stand up for Sneako, like, because, you know, Jake come from the influencer background, Jake is skilled, and he's like, look, pick on someone your own size sort of thing. And yeah, fair play. Again, Sean Strickland shouldn't have done that really, but it's Sean Strickland. I'm not going to act surprised about it. Now, Jake says, I'll fly to Puerto Rico and we can fight on camera. If you win, I'll give you $1 million, in brackets, half of your net worth, just to rub it in how, you know, much richer Jake Paul is than him. But if you get dropped, you have to get better tattooed on you, which is his betting company or whatever. Now, that is a fight I would fucking love to watch. I don't think it'll happen because the UFC have got Strickland under contract, and the idea of him doing what would be essentially a broadcasted real fight, I'm sure that he won't be allowed to do that. Dana White and them will be on him already. But in theory, no money on the line, just a spar, just like what we've seen, Jake Paul should be able to go and do that with Sean Strickland. And to be honest, Jake Paul, you know, the guys he's fighting right now, no one's interested in them and no one's really into the fights. It's just, you know, Jake getting experience. This would really whet the appetite and get people more invested in Jake Paul again, in his journey again. Saying that shit made me mad, says Bryce Hall. We've had him on the podcast recently.
But if me and him box, it'll be different.
You think so?
Yes. I can actually put like a shit ton of money on it. I don't care. It would be very, very close.
I like Bryce Hall. Think he's a pretty good influencer level boxer. Seen him in bare knuckle. Did all right. I think he's mental. I don't think it would be even remotely close. And I think he'd get the fuck beaten out of him. You know, I'd be rooting for him, right? I'd hope that he survived and did okay. And he has been training, so maybe he's come on since I last seen him. I don't think for 1 second he has done anywhere near the level of work to get him in there and be able to fuck with Sean Strickland. Sean Strickland outstruck Israel Adesanya. Israel Adesanya is one of the greatest strikers in the history of MMA. Bryce Hall did good in bare knuckle boxing for that fight, but by his own admission got a little lucky against a very small guy who even still said he cracked him like fuck. Sean Strickland is a much bigger dude than the guy he last fought and is way more experienced and skilled. I think Bryce Hall wouldn't know what the fuck was happening to him in an octagon with Sean Strickland. And that's my God, I like the guy, but I'm always going to be fucking truthful. But I'm actually interested to see if he's fucking right, because I'm sitting here thinking Bryce Hall could be fighting blokes like Deji, not Sean Strickland. So yeah, that's blown me away, that. Like, these influencers are getting more crazy by the fucking year, you know. What has Jake Paul done to this generation? Yeah? Now, Jake Paul versus Sean Strickland is another story, because Jake has legit power, has banged out Tyron Woodley, has proven himself in boxing now. That being said, couldn't finish Nate Diaz, and Sean Strickland is a way tougher test than Nate Diaz. I mean, that is a tough one to call, though, just because of the power of Jake. That one's a lot less predictable. I don't know who wins that one. Now, Dana White has had a say on Sean Strickland, and look, Dana White's a guy who promotes people slapping each other in the face as if it's a sport these days, so I don't know how embarrassed he is of Sean Strickland, but it mustn't be easy to be his manager.
Sean Strickland tweeted that there may have been something between him and Machine Gun Kelly. Can you talk to me about
love the way
what
he rolls
happened
his
there?
eyes.
You can't bring Sean Strickland around any other human beings. It's like, you know what I mean? It has nothing to do with Machine Gun Kelly. It's about humans.
He's right. Like, Machine Gun Kelly is a total bellend. We all know that. But he isn't the real problem here. Sean Strickland is the real-life version. He's like a love child between Trevor from Grand Theft Auto 5 and a real-life Stone Cold Steve Austin, with a little bit of psycho sprinkled on top of it. But as mad as he is, he does say intelligent things, and I actually do like him. But you just can't put the expectations of him to always behave right. He is very unstable. You know, we know that. And as if Sean Strickland hasn't got the entire internet on strings enough as it is, he's now got the attention of Dylan Dennis. Yeah. What do you think he's done? Something really witty and interesting? Nope, he's gone after his woman. You know, when Dylan did this to Logan Paul, you think, yeah, the whole internet's turned against Logan. You're capitalizing on that moment. He's just announced his beautiful fiance, this model, you know, is his missus now. He's got $1 billion empire. He's got a lot to lose. He's now like a face of the WWE. He's a clean cut image guy, and he ain't the type of guy to just turn up at your house with a loaded shotgun and blow your brains out. Sean Strickland, on the other hand, might. Probably why this was deleted, I think. So yeah, maybe Dylan should just, you know, try something else. Badminton. So we've just seen from Sean Strickland, y'all want to see a dead body? God, this is the only thing I've ever wanted, please, and I never ask you for anything, please. Bryce Hall said, you know I'm down, Shawnee boy. Now look, The average man overestimates his fighting ability by 1,000%. That's all of us. We all think if something kicked off, I'd just, and I would just do all this shit, and then all of a sudden everyone would be knocked out. I don't know if Bryce Hall's like that times 10, because the guy is having such confidence, and I actually believe he will turn up, because he is a little bit crazy. But if he's got loved ones and they're watching this, I urge you, talk him out of this, please. Stop him. Because I've met the guy, and he's a really nice guy. I really like them. I thought, most influencers tend to be twats. You're actually a nice guy. Come on. Actually, most influencers are all right. But he's a really down-to-earth, fun guy. And look, the general attitude from the influencer boxing space seems to be, well, it's for the clout, innit? Clout is clout. Yeah, brain damage really doesn't go away, though. So yeah, just another week in Sean Strickland's life. We will do weekly updates at this rate on Sean Strickland on the Pain Game. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the Pain Game YouTube channel. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.